Hey guys, Rob Veno, WagerTalk.com, WagerTalk TV. Here to answer a few questions, more personal and a little bit about betting here. Real quickly, I'm about 33 years in the industry now, since 1992. Long time. Done a lot of things over the course of my career. Now we're with WagerTalk, hopefully still cashing tickets. I'm going to answer a few questions for all of you here, see what we can get. The first one says, what was your first job in the sports betting industry? That came out here in Las Vegas, and it was a boiler room type operation. Believe it or not, they hand you a sheet of names, you make a cold call, you tell them you absolutely knows who's going to win, if they send you money, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't very good at it, so I got out of there within a year and a half. So that was my first job here in the industry. Next up, other than sports betting, what is your favorite way to gamble? I don't think I have one, guys. I'm not a card player. I don't play any real casino games. Mostly all sports. I bet odd sports. I bet high life for a long, long time. Still do a little bit where it's available, horse racing, etc. But they're all sports, so no other real betting interest outside of sports. What's the best gambling movie ever? I wouldn't say it's the best gambling movie ever, but I'll give you my favorite, and I just saw it recently, about 2-3 years ago, was Molly's Game. And as I mentioned before, I'm not even a poker player, but I just thought the story was really interesting, solid movie, good acting, gave me a backstory on something I didn't know. So I'd say Molly's Game is my favorite gambling movie. This one is a no-brainer for me. It says college football Saturdays or NFL Sundays. It's college football Saturdays all the time, without question. Next up, do you remember your first sports bet? If so, what was it? Honestly, guys, I can't remember what my first sports bet was. I could probably come close. I'm going to guess, go back to like 1980, where I played the 1980 Holiday Bowl between SMU and BYU, Pony Express backfield, Eric Dickerson and Craig James, opposed by BYU quarterback Jim McMahon. Actually got a pick 'em on that. BYU made a 21-point comeback or 20-point comeback in the last 5 minutes and won that bet. So that's the first one I kind of remember, probably because it was a success. If you could bet one sport for the rest of your life, what would it be? It would be football, and more football. Really, that's my favorite of all. So if I only had one to choose from, it would be any kind of football. What's your favorite all-time sportsbook in Las Vegas? That one's pretty easy. That's the Stardust. When I came to town, the Stardust was the most popular. I actually lived here 12 years. Was the most popular sports book in town. All the action happened there. I was actually lucky enough to be an entrant in the Stardust Invitational sports betting contest, the football contest, for a couple of times. But that was the place where all the action was. Definitely the Stardust on the Strip. What's the best sporting event that you've ever attended? I would say maybe at Shea Stadium. I'm a Connecticut native, used to go to Shea a lot. And it was a Dodger-Mets playoff game, I think game 5. Afternoon game after a Dodger extra inning win the night before. Went down with a bunch of buddies that were Met fans. Dodgers won. Good for me, bad for them. So that's probably the best sporting event I've ever been to. Playoff game, Mets-Dodgers. Best advice for sports bettors. Boy, I'm not big on giving advice, but I would say this. I would say, obviously be disciplined. Everybody says that. And have a real short-term memory. You can't be aggravated for a long time in this industry. I always try to compare it to a cornerback in football that gets beat for a touchdown. You have to just forget about it and come back the next day. Maybe be mad. For myself, it probably takes me about 5 minutes to get over these losses nowadays. And we all suffer through some tough ones. Your most memorable sports bet. This one's going to be good because I have this one. This happened back around the presidential election 1980 when Ronald Reagan won. I was with a buddy of mine. We're in a bowling alley. We wanted to bet the Seattle Supersonics, but there was nothing on the board. Our local book had nothing on the board that night to bet with the Sonics. We wanted a parlay, and the only thing he had available was the election. So he said, all right, give us the Sonics, Supersonics, and Ronald Reagan in a 40-time parlay. For those that don't know back east, each time is $5. So it was a $200 parlay, Sonics and Reagan. Sonics were like a double-digit favorite that night. They win. Next night, we're back in the bowling alley rooting for Ronald Reagan. It was pretty much a landslide, so we won that parlay. And my buddy and I, we talk about it every election cycle. That's the most memorable. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of people in sports betting? I would probably say guys that I listen to the most for advice. I think my dad was probably most influential for me getting to where I am. He was a bettor himself. B, I would say Dave Malinsky, for those who ever had the opportunity to meet him or listen to him. Absolutely learn something every time you would talk to Dave Malinsky. 3 and 4 is going to be difficult, guy. I might have to narrow my Rushmore down to 2 because there's so many people you could think of. But off the top of my head, my dad and definitely Dave Malinsky was a guiding light in this business. Stuff you didn't know, he knew, and helped me along the way for sure. If you could share a VIP booth at a sports book with any 3 famous people for a day, who would they be? I'd probably go all football, guys. Definitely John Elway 1. Definitely Barry Sanders 2. And probably Bo Jackson 3. Those 3 guys, very famous, all Hall of Famers. I'd love to be in a booth with those 3 guys for one day. That would be a lot of fun. And I'm back to what was your first job in the sports betting industry? Okay, so I think I covered everything here, all the questions. I'd like to thank everybody that participates in WagerTalk.com and WagerTalk TV, and hope to see you guys all around soon. Keep cashing tickets.